Gonna have a hell of a time. What's his name?
Time.
Yee-hoo! Come on, son. Up he comes. Chip, 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 chip. Come on, Sonny. Man, look at the shape of him. My lovely lady humps. Check him out. Step up, son. Step up. Yeah. All right. All right, Dream Team. Are you ready to collect some spoof? You want to run this?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Oh, so we're collecting this bull to make straws. This is hell of a time. One of a suite of awesome bulls out here. Katie's got me some saline. So this is 0.9% saline, so it's neutral with the semen, so that if there's any left in the prepuce, it doesn't affect the semen quality. Kind of let them know you're here. Always reach in with your far away hand. If you come in like that, and you're more likely to get kicked. You still can get kicked in things, but if you reach around with your left hand, give him a reach around. Reach around with your left hand. You're less likely to get hurt. And put the saline in there and give it a bit of a rub his prepuce a bit. Will help rinse that all out. You really should get like a pump or something. Katie's come up with that idea. I'm getting tired of loading these syringes, I think. And then I just pull out any little clumps of stuff that are remaining on his preputial hair. Stuff. Feel free to ask any questions as we go. Super Molly. Our camera woman is currently enrolled at Murdoch University studying to become a veterinarian. I'll also kind of spray up a little bit of the prepuce here and try to get rid of that moisture so it doesn't run down into the funnel. But also, there's a bull request that we trim their preputial hair. Apparently, it makes things look bigger. We do that mostly just so that preputial hair doesn't end up in the sample or any of the muscle. So that's a nice clean willy. So if this vet thing doesn't work out for me, I'm gonna start a willy washing business, I reckon. There you go. All right. Now, because I've washed his prepuce, there's a lot of moisture in the bottom of the chute. And if he's a stamper, which some bulls are when you start collecting him, he'll stamp and he'll fire poo up onto his prepuce, so that's no good. So we've got a handy dandy shovel here. We're just gonna, hey, you're all right. Just move your foot back. So I've got a bit of dry food. Dry poo that I prepared earlier. Cool beans. That's him. And we've got our love rocket. There's 2 electrodes right here. And I'll show you at the end of the video a little bit about how that works. So it puts a very light electrical current into his accessory sex organs. So he's got like a vesicular gland, a bulbourethral gland, a prostate, and it stimulates those, which stimulates him to ejaculate. That's hence the term electro-ejaculation. Ready, team? This is a Lane Pulsator 5. It's got several different algorithms in it. So these algorithms over here are more for your British breeds. These ones on the right are more for your Bos Indicus. These being Droughtys, some of the best Droughtys in Australia, out here at Munda Reds. So just want to watch this. Normally there's a little bit of pre-ejaculate first. Pre-ejaculate's clear fluid. That's like a bicarb solution produced by the vesicular glands, and what it does, it just neutralizes any urine and things that might be in the penis. He's gonna go. We hold these down so that if he does kick around stuff, he doesn't less likely to make a mess into the tube. I've got a loop function here, so I'm gonna put that on loop. It's kind of hitting his sweet spot. Hopefully it'll settle down here in a minute and he'll start producing semen for us. So it's gonna hold the algorithm rather than continue to escalate it. And that's Katie. Our goal with this semen is we're gonna extend it. So we're gonna mix it with what they call extender, which is like nutrition. It's what is it, trilodil, an egg yolk. And so it's got stuff to keep the semen alive. And then we're gonna dilute it down to a concentration of probably around, we're gonna aim for about 40 million per straw, but then that works out to 12 million live. It'll kill about half of them in the freezing process, and then work out the percent normal on your motility and things. This is nice thick stuff, so we'll be able to extend that. Like we'll be able to turn that, dilute that, extend it. That's why they call it extender. We'll be able to turn that into probably about 20 times the volume of what it is right there. So it's nice thick stuff. Like you'd only need a couple drops in your coffee of this stuff. This bull's pretty forthcoming.
He's having a hell of a time.
He's having a hell of a time. As he starts to slow down, I can hit the loop function again. It'll just escalate it just a little bit more. Drowdies are a little bit prone to sooking and laying down a bit with the EJ. So we don't want him to do that. There you go, bud. Oh man, he is having a hell of a time. You come here often? Oh man, Mr. Thick we call him. So because he didn't exteriorize his penis, when the penis is exteriorized, it's really easy to get a clean sample. But that's why we did spend so much time giving him the willy wash, washing out his prepuce, because we wouldn't want to have this contaminated. There you go, gorgeous. Oh, Mr. Thick, son of a gun. So heck, this guy could probably make, well, we might make 700 or 800 straws. We'll find out from Simon. We'll go and see what he's doing over there at his end. So Simon Bell, he's a veterinarian as well. This is India. She's going to vet school. She just doesn't know it yet. And you're in your second year.
Second year, yeah.
Are you loving it?
Love it.
No. It's a great career being a veterinarian. I reckon it's so varied. You can do so many different things. Like if you're a dentist, you're just stuck doing teeth. But if you're a veterinarian, shit, you can work for the government. You can work at a plant. You can drive around the countryside like me, playing with cows. I love it. Stay honest and optimistic, and the world's your oyster. When is he gonna stop? This guy's going the distance, cowboy. He's going for speed. So this particular stud, how many bulls do you guys sell a year?
160-ish.
Yeah. And so these are some of their better bulls that they've retained, and we're collecting them just so that if something happens to bulls, because bulls tend to sometimes have issues. If they're not making love, they're fighting. They're lovers and fighters, bulls. And, so it's a bit of an insurance policy, keeping the semen around so that as we get progeny out of these young bulls, you might find that some of these bulls are insanely exceptional, and then having all that bank of genetic material is a real asset to the Munda Reds organization. You can see he's starting to get a little bit clearer. So takes about I think 6 weeks or so to transverse to transit from the beginning to end on the whole semen process. And bulls, just like all male mammals, continually produce semen, versus all the females are born with all your eggs when you're born. And then once they're gone, they're gone. That's how Hugh Hefner probably somebody's daddy somewhere. All right, bud. And then at the end, I've just hit reset, so I can just kind of feather him along for a little bit here more, just to get the last little bit of goodness from him, and then let him go out in the paddock, and he'll be put out with the cows tomorrow.
Yeah, I think almost straight away they'll be put out.
Cool beans. So go back to doing what bulls normally do. Thank you for your contribution. Thanks for coming to the bank and making a deposit, sir. To do some experimenting. So this is a probe. These are the electrodes that I was talking about. So I'm just going to give that a wash. Get rid of that post-consumer grass and water. I love rocket. Then this has got a manual setting, which at the end I was using it on manual, so I'll just put it on manual, and I'll take it all the way up to the very highest level. So the way, I'll do you a real quick video here for a second. So when you normally are collecting a bull on your own with a manual machine, or even with this machine if you want to do it manually, what you do is you'd start down at the bottom, and you go up about 1/3, and then back off. And up about 2/3, and then back off. And up about full, and then back off. And then pop up 1, and up 1/3. And when you start to the sweet spot, you'll start slowing down and maybe go 1/4, half, 3/4. And if you're getting good product, you'll just stay there. But what Bob and Lee at Lane Manufacturing have done is they put algorithms in here. So if you go into there's the programs. These two are good for Angus. This one's called their Beefmaster, which is a composite like Trouties. Trouties are Brahman Shorthorn cross. And so I generally use algorithm I for Bos Indicus stuff. So if we go back to manual and go all the way up to 9, that's the top end. That's as much boogie as it's got, and then you take the rheostat all the way to the top. That's full noise. So if you come check this out, you get your hand wet. Let me try. You gotta push on it pretty firmly. Feel a tingle?
Yeah.
Just a tiny little tingle, eh? So people go, it's so mean to the bulls, but I mean, there's just a little tingle.
Yeah.
But it's stimulating those accessory sensors. It's like, woo, woo. A friend of mine was a veterinarian in the U.S. He was one of my professors. When he was a student, his PhD was on how often can you collect them before their semen quality turns to crap. And so what he was doing is at a big center was he'd run in these 10 bulls and collect them every day. And there were 20 or so bulls in the group. And he thought, well, I'll just have some fun. So I'll just send the other 10 in. I'll let them stand in the crush for 5 minutes, and I'll let them go. By the end of the week, the ones that were getting collected were waiting in the morning to come in.
Oh, really?
But the ones that were just standing in the crush, they were just still in the paddock and stuff. So they like it. They go, but they make noise. I'm like, well, I kind of make noise too. So. Yeah, they do seem to dig it. The point being, it probably is a pleasurable response.
Yeah.
They always ask me for a cigarette when I'm done, but I'm not a fan of cow smoking. It's no good. Well, let's go see what Simon's doing.
Okay, so when we get the semen sample, if they're all good quality, we aggregate them, and then what we'll do is we're checking the quality as we go, make sure that it's got good motility. So we're just looking at this point for what we call a gross swirl motility. So he's got a swirl probably 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5, which is pretty good. So what we've ended up with is a total volume of 20 mils of really good thick semen. So we've got here a mini tube SDM1, which is a fantastic little spectrophotometer, and what it does is we can measure the neat semen as it comes out of these bulls. and it's going to give us a total concentration. Hopefully that bubble. Yeah, so he's given us a
Working.
concentration of 1.4 billion sperm per mil.
1.4 billion.
sperm.
And we need 12 million live semen per straw. So if you divide 1.4 billion,
Times it by 20.
divided by 12 million and 4, so divided by 48 million, this is roughly you got your answer. So divided by 50 million.
Anyway, there's enough semen here to make well over 1,000 straws from that.
He's had a hell of a time.
Bring it on.
Hi, super cool. These are the fellas that we just finished up with. Hello, guys. Thank you for coming. Beautiful animals. Tick resistant, drought resistant, good composite. Got a lot of the attributes of the British breed, the milk of the shorthorn, with that tick resistance and drought resistance of the Brahman cattle. Beautiful, and a gorgeous red coat on them. Munda Reds. See you at the next sale. Hey, I got a hat.